Emi Doku, you have rocked my world. Manchester City 2, Aston Villa 1, and that is an absolutely monumentous 3 points in terms of getting Champions League football next season. But it could have been a different game. Ruben Diaz getting absolutely skinned within the first 15 seconds of the match. Marcus Rashford hitting the post, and they could have been 1-0 up within the first 30 seconds of the game. Only minutes later, it's Manchester City who take the lead as Omar Marmoush drives at Matty Cash on the edge of the box, drives all the way into the box to the byline, and then squares it back right into the path of Bernardo Silva, who then gets the strike off on goal. Emi Martínez fumbles it on the line. It gets into the back of the net, and that is Manchester City 1-0 up in the game. Then a moment of madness from Ruben Diaz gives away a penalty to Aston Villa in the 15th minute, and it's really poor from Ruben Diaz. He actually had a poor game today. He clips Ramsey coming into the box. He doesn't need to, and I've seen some people say this is not a penalty. This is absolutely a penalty. And then Marcus Rashford tucks it home. A good penalty, to be fair, right into the far corner. When the chips are down, when you need someone to step up with a big moment in a game that looks like it's ambling its way towards a draw, with 2 minutes to go on the clock, Jeremy Doku steps up for Manchester City, absolutely skinning Disasi from this position here. He knocks it past him, he uses his pace and physicality to get beyond Disasi, then drives himself to the edge of the box. And honestly, lads, the quality on this assist, it's a trivela towards the back post, missing every single Aston Villa player and Emi Martínez. And then Matheus Nunes arrives at the back post, and I'm just praying this doesn't hit the side netting, and it doesn't. He gets it in the back of the net. It's a good finish from Matheus Nunes, and that is an absolutely massive goal for Champions League football. Because as you can see here, that now takes us 4 points clear of Aston Villa in 7th place. All we need to do is finish in the top 5. I'm not even that bothered about finishing 3rd. And Chelsea have a really difficult kind of fixture period between now and the end of the season. So I'm really confident now after that we can go and get Champions League football for this season. If you want to catch my extended match reaction, head over to my YouTube channel, hit the subscribe button. The link is in the description of my TikTok, and yeah, I'm about to go record that now. So head over there if you want to see more analysis of the game.
It was a match they needed to win, right? I would have taken a draw. Sincerely, I would have taken a draw in this game, but I'm happy that they got the 3 points, and that was very vital. Kudos to them. You know, incredible game they played. They did everything they needed to do. They fought. This is the fighting Man City we want to see. Yes, they're having a bad season, but I want to see Man City fighting. And this was something that was lacking beginning of the season. The way Man City is playing and the way they are going, I 100% believe that they have the capacity to win that FA Cup. Winning that FA Cup and finishing in the top 4, you cannot tell me that it's a terrible season. You cannot tell me that it is a terrible season. Because some teams that have had a better season than Man City will go trophyless. But Manchester City is on the verge of winning a trophy and finishing in the top 4. If Arsenal goes trophyless, are we going to say Arsenal had a better season than Man City? Are we? Liverpool, on the other hand, that is winning the league. They are winning just 1 trophy. Man City will win another 1 trophy. Or even 2 trophies, because if you are going to count the Community Shield as a trophy for this season, although I don't think it's a trophy for this season, but if you are going to count it as a trophy for this season, that means Man City has 2 trophies. Liverpool has 1, if Man City wins the FA Cup. So at the end of the day, you know, yes, the journey looked terrible, but the end goal is what matters at the end of the day. So let's see. I'm really hoping and praying that Manchester City wins that FA Cup. That is going to be redemption for Pep Guardiola this season.
Unai Emery, you are literally the architect of your own problem. Yes, you are the architect of your problem and the architect of Aston Villa's problem. That Aston Villa will not make Champions League football next season is literally your fault. What is your problem? What is going on? Why do you keep on making the same mistakes over and over again, and you decided not to learn? You did the same mistake against PSG and you did it today again against City. You take out Rashford, the only attacking threat you have, the person who is pushing the attack in the 18-yard box for Villa, and you decide to take him out. And when he's out, all Villa's attack just goes dead. And your defense isn't even all that good because you decide to play Disasi as a right back. Like, what is your obsession with playing centre backs as right back? And now we are going to allow this plastic club called Manchester City play in the Champions League, which they absolutely do not deserve, all because of you. It's your fault. Ah, God. These coaches, man, they don't learn.
Get in! In the race for the UCL, City get a late winner and move up to third for the time being. Oh my goodness, I cannot explain to you the pure joy, the pure euphoria when that second goal went in. Matheus Nunes, the link up from Doku. I had fully prepared what I was gonna say in this video when it was 1-1 and we got the winner, and I am buzzing. I think the team can be incredibly proud of their performance today. City were very well organized and their press was working too. Whenever we were dispossessed, they were on the Aston Villa players. Although we still had many misplaced passes and like missed chances, overall I feel like we're starting to see City getting their groove back again. I was going to come on here and talk about the softest penalty in the land, but there's no need now. Something I do find very curious is the fact that Pep is choosing not to start our wingers. He's been waiting very late in the past few games to actually bring them on, and they are the ones that make the difference. So I don't know if that's part of the strategy, but I think we're going to be seeing our wingers as more of impact players at this point. There are only 4 games left in the Premier League, and obviously we need to keep winning our games and just hoping that the teams around us keep dropping points so we can hold on to this Champions League spot. But in the meantime, we turn our attention to the FA Cup. Yes, baby, the FA Cup is this weekend. What did you guys think of the game? Let me know in the comments. Come on, City, get in!
Doku is a sensational talent, and I don't care about the haters that consistently get onto this guy and go on and on about his end product. Just look at the way he finished Disasi today, bro, to win the game for City, and he has that real game-breaking ability to beat a man at will. The way he beats him, the quality of the assist as well, my word, with the outside of his boot, that ball goes perfectly to Nunes. It's freakish. I mean, I think Neville on the commentary said it was Kevin De Bruyne-esque, and he wasn't wrong. And you know what annoys me the most about Doku? It's the fact that he's 22. 22 years of age. God forbid he is not the finished article at 22 years of age. And it's just like, it's also because I feel like it's so hypocritical for a lot of the debates that I see online as well. Because his end product is not even that bad, but people constantly use it to bring him down, even though he has that natural game-breaking ability in the way that he can beat a man, and he's got the confidence and swagger to do it. That is, you know, exactly the type of individual ability that we want to see, which, you know, just straight away breaks down stuff like system football. Like today, I was sleeping before this kid got onto the pitch. But as soon as he got on, excitement. You just know when Doku's on the pitch, right, in terms of the way that he can beat a fullback at will, especially when there's a natural mismatch, you just knew that it was a long day for Disasi, man. And I just really want to see people not be complete hypocrites and gas up talents like this rather than consistently try and take them down because you want them to be some mad finished article when they're 22.
Bro, I thought the game was done. I thought the ref is gonna blow. How you telling me I'm getting messages of Naeem? Where's the full-time video? Be a good boy and post the full-time video. Sit down. Don't speak till the final whistle's blown. Bro, what do you mean? Manchester City played 2-1. Who won? Manchester City. How have they changed the season around? Bro, they got 61 points. I remember like not so long ago, we were counting how many games Manchester City have gone without winning. And now they're winning almost every game. How have they got double the amount of losses? I mean, wins compared to losses already. They've changed, bro. They've turned around and changed the whole season around. I've said it. Manchester City are back. They're going to keep on winning games. And if anything, I could see them finishing above Arsenal. Ain't no way they're above Nottingham Forest. And yes, top 5 does get Champions League football. Do I see Chelsea getting it? No. Do I see Aston Villa still getting it? Yes. I guess you got to speak when he says full time here. Good boy.
Unai Emery, what have you done? Such a brilliant manager, so good at managing games, controlling games, making his teams hard to beat, hard to break down, but he's done it again. Axel Disasi against a tricky 1v1 winger might have just blown Aston Villa's Champions League hopes. That is such a massive win for Man City. You can see what it meant to Pep at the end there. It was a bit of a drab game, if we're being honest. But that is what Doku can do to people. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I think he is going to explode and go to another level next year. That is such an amazing cross to pick out Matheus Nunes, running onto it at the back post. It's maybe a good job that Pep only trusts him at right back and not really in midfield. Pops up at the right time when City needed a goal the most. Look, I thought Aston Villa were probably good value for a point. I thought they set up really, really well. They were going to hurt. They hurt City on the break in that first half. They were compact. They were well organised. That is such a dagger. Look, I still think Villa have got a very good chance of getting top 5. A point away just to keep that momentum going after they've been on such a brilliant run would have been absolutely massive and a good way to look ahead to the Cup semi-final at the weekend. The City it is that come out on top. I thought James McAtee was impressive again tonight for Man City. Really like the look of him. Obviously no minutes for Oscar Bob again. I think City fans are a little bit not sure about that. It's the substitutions that have won and lost the game. Man City bringing on Doku with 15 minutes to go. Emery again, for how good of a manager that he is. It's his substitutions that have probably cost Villa in their last two big games. They were brilliant the weekend, but last week, I say two big games, obviously Newcastle was a big game at the weekend, but PSG last week, obviously bringing Rashford off after he was the spark that got them back in the game in the second half, and then today bringing Disasi on at right back against Doku, you are asking for trouble, and that's what Villa got.
Who said Man City and Pep Guardiola would not be celebrating this top 5 race needs to shut their mouth. This was a huge win by Manchester City, and look at the raw emotion from Pep Guardiola. In case you don't know, Man City won 2-1 versus Aston Villa, who are also in a top 5 race with Manchester City, and what a win this is, separating them from the pack. I mean, just look at this. They would have, if they would have lost this game, they would have been sitting around 5th or 6th. Now that they've won this game, it keeps them up there, and it keeps them relatively safe from missing out on the Champions League spots. And this was how crucial this game was. Aston Villa, who would have been above Manchester City, or at least in like sitting around 3rd or 4th, sitting around 4th. This stops Aston Villa from having a stranglehold over getting back into that top 5 race, and it helps out the likes of Chelsea, Newcastle, and Nottingham Forest to keep themselves a little bit more pressure off at this moment in time. Where Manchester City, they got the job done. The 2 goal scorers, 2 midfielders chipping in for goals. Let's be honest, Nunes not been having the best season. Silva not been having the best season, but when needed, they stepped up. As for Aston Villa, Rashford gets the goal. Aston Villa overall, they're kind of bottling it now at the end of the season, getting knocked out in the Champions League, potentially could be knocked out of the top 5 race. And if they don't win the FA Cup, it's just going to be another season where they don't do nothing. As for Manchester City, I think they now have a stranglehold over top 5, and this win is going to be remembered as the day that they pretty much helped secure it.
What? You're telling me Manchester City, who are supposed to be in a crisis, are only 5 points behind Arsenal in 2nd? I know they've got a game in hand, but even without it, like, Arsenal will be closer to Villa in 7th than they are to 1st. I'm telling you, I've been seeing a lot of things these past couple months. All you guys have been writing off Man City saying, it's going to be Arsenal for the league next season, Man City are going to fall off. Don't be fooled by all this KDB leaving. That just means that these guys are ruthless, bro. This summer transfer window for them, we're going to see what happens with the points deduction in it. Because the points deduction, if they get that, then they're most likely not going to win the league. But if they don't get a points deduction, if they bust that case, Man City will be back. As for the game today, though, it was saved by this man right here, Doku. To be honest, his last 2 cameos against Everton when he came off the bench, and then today against Villa, if this guy adds end product into his game, it's gonna get spooky, because this guy, we already know, bro, he's the best 1v1 dribbler in the Premier League, maybe even the world. That being said, though, I do not think he meant this. Like, he just put it into the area. He done well beating Disasi. I don't know why Disasi is 1v1 against this guy. I don't know who. Unai Emery, what are you thinking, brother? But still, he just put that into the area. Maybe he's even looking for Gundogan right there, but you're telling me he's got the vision to see Matheus Nunes. If he's got that kind of vision, if he's leveled up like that, then boy, we might be seeing KDB type assists from this guy next season.
I didn't watch much of this match. I think I watched it about 15 minutes or so before Barcelona match started, and I switched to Barcelona. So congrats to Manchester City, that's all I can say. And Pep Guardiola for getting another 3 points, winning yet another match, and taking yet a step further into solidifying their position in the top 4 of the Premier League standing this season. You see, I've always maintained this point that we are right now in the Premier League is a very delicate point. It's a very difficult time. And this is when you know who actually has what it takes to, to fight until the very end. This is when you separate the men from the boys. Liverpool should be thankful to their God that they started the season on a very good note and then amassed a lot of points. If not, If Liverpool, with this kind of thing they are playing lately, they were among this team fighting to solidify their place in the top 4, they just maybe they may just lose the top 4 position. But I still maintain my point. You see, Man City will surely finish the season in the top 4, maybe even in the top 3. I see Man City unseating Nottingham Forest from that 3rd position. Now, the 4th position is going to be a very big fight between Newcastle and Nottingham Forest. I don't see Chelsea making it to the top 4. Aston Villa, they play. But you see these 3 teams I tell you, Man City, Newcastle, Nottingham Forest. And I strongly believe that Man City will take it a step further to unseat Nottingham Forest from that 3rd position. And then let them go and battle it out with Newcastle for whoever is going to make the 4th. Congrats to Pep Guardiola.
This has to be one of the most smoothest transitions I've ever seen from a legendary goalkeeper at their club to a future legend being potentially signed. Looks like Ederson is going to be leaving Manchester City in the summer, and he's going to be headed to Saudi Arabia, meaning he's probably going to get a good transfer fee, probably going to get good wages, and Manchester City might get a good bang for their buck for their club legend leaving the club. So they need to go get a replacement goalkeeper. What do? They go and just get the best goalkeeper available on the market. Chelsea, take note. Manchester United, take note. Man City need a goalkeeper. They just go and get the best keeper available in the market. Diego Costa, still quite young, still one of the best goalkeepers out there in the world right now. And Manchester City have been given the green light to go get him. I seen Arsenal play against Porto. I'm telling you, this man is a really quality keeper. He's good with his feet. He's the Portuguese #1. And he's going to be walking straight into that Man City team. And I'm not saying he's going to do exactly what Ederson does, but he is already going to be a better shot stopper than Ederson with a little bit of the quality on the ball also. So fair play to Manchester City, like for like replacement right there. And safe to say in the short term, they've definitely upgraded in the short term. Let's see if he can have the same level of success that Ederson had. But Man City showing once again, they are one of the best run clubs in the world.
Guys, I'm sorry, but why do managers consistently play Disasi at fullback? It just doesn't make any sense to me. City 2, Villa 1, they win the game in literally the last kick of the game for a massive win in this top 4 race, which will absolutely crush Villa hearts because it could be so crucial. They probably deserve it because they were knocking on the door, but for this goal in the last minute to make it 2-1, Doku absolutely fleeces Disasi. And as soon as Doku stepped onto the pitch, you could see that mismatch against Disasi. And I just look at Disasi there and I just don't know why he's there. As a centre-back, he is probably, like, in terms of the way he's built, he's quite firmly built with quite a lot of muscle. He's pretty heavy as a footballer. He's a decent player. I don't think he's the best. But just as a centre-back, he's like the last centre-back that I would think would adapt well to fullback. Yet we've seen Emery do it for Villa. We've seen Poch do it at Chelsea. I just don't understand why. Like, even against against PSG in the first leg, Kvara absolutely stripped him for his goal, and just continuously he doesn't look comfortable there. I just can't understand why people do it. Doku's a tricky customer, but it was far too easy, man. Anyway, man, I'll never understand